Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devil Saturday. This is Game Day Live, coming to you live from Stateside Live in South Philadelphia. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Vinnie, Parise, streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network, and on Instagram Live. Can't forget about that. Vinnie, Devils Flyers tonight here. We're down in South Philly, waiting for Chico Resch. How are you tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. Devils Flyers is always a really good time, regardless of what building it's in. It's been a great time for a long time. Until the Devils kind of pulled out of it the last couple of years, neither team's been great in the last decade, and it's still really fun regardless. I think back to games that included Claude Giroux and Jakub Voracek and Wayne Simmons, and for the Devils, Travis Zajac, Ilya Kovalchuk, Zach Parise, Patrick Elias, and then it started to kind of dwindle into the next era. And now you got guys who are stars on both teams. Heischer's playing for the Devils. You got Luke Hughes. Jack is obviously out. Over there you got Michkov and Konechny and Sanheim and a bunch of really good players that are fun to watch on both sides of the rivalry. So I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. And, the rivalry goes way back into the, let's see, I won't even say the pre-Eric Lindros days. I think once the Flyers got Eric Lindros in that massive deal with the Quebec Nordiques, I think that's when it started to heat up. And then once you got into the 1995 Stanley Cup playoffs, you had really two heavyweights going at it in the Eastern Conference Finals. It went 6 games. It went in favor of New Jersey. But that was really one of the more exciting Eastern Conference Finals. And then you fast forward 5 years later, that 2000 Eastern Conference Finals between the two teams was a defining point in New Jersey Devils hockey history. But also the Flyers were on the crossroads because that hit that Scott Stevens laid out on Eric Lindros really altered history for the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah, and it's still an iconic thing to this day. Like, you see video of it and all that. So, when these two teams meet, it's always going to bring out a little bit of the, negativity that's come between the two teams in terms of a rivalry. But it's been a joy to watch for quite a long time, and it actually looks like Sam right now coming in is going to be a very special guest to the Let's Go Devils podcast.
Special guest Chico Resch. Did you have trouble finding this place?
I did.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Chico's mic is not on, just so you know.
Yeah.
No Chico.
Yeah, you're on. We're live.
Can't hear Chico.
A lot of Devils fans here. What do we expect, Sammy?
Yeah.
This is a huge matchup. Devils struggling, scoring. Flyers on a little bit of a roll.
Yep. Oh, I'm just telling my nephew to take pictures. That was actually a signal. Sorry. You okay?
Sam, can you hear me?
We're live right now. Yeah.
I ran from the bus. I got here. Big place.
Okay.
Anyway, will you take over then? What do you want to go?
Well, we were talking about the rivalry starting in 95, really. That's when it really started to kick in. Eric Lindros, Hart Trophy winner. Devils taking 6 games in that Eastern Conference Finals. Devils' first cup came from that year, but I thought the defining moment for both franchises was that 2000 Eastern Conference Finals, because it solidified Scott Stevens and the New Jersey Devils, but Eric Lindros and the Flyers, that took a different direction after that Game 7.
Hi, Vinnie. I know you're out there, buddy. You're a ways away.
I can't hear you guys.
Oh, you can't? Oh.
Well, you can hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Chico's mic is completely not working. We only hear him through Sam's. I've been trying to get your attention this whole time. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Chico, how are you?
I'm doing good, Vinny. It's a little. I was at practice today, a little tense. Because they haven't scored.
I'm sure.
The last. Am I on?
Yep.
The last 2 games,
Yep.
we haven't scored a goal.
Yep.
Not just the last one, Sam. Why? The last 2 games, we haven't scored a goal. Why? Because the goal we got in Tampa Bay, if you remember, Moser put it in, not us. So that's 2 games now. But going back to that series, we were talking about it. They had Bernie Perron's ceremony last night. Fans were invited. It was telecast. And so a lot of the alumni are here. And we were talking about that. Devils are down 3-1, right? And Lindros was hurt.
Yes.
And they're up 3-1. The Flyers are up 3-1. Some people think he shouldn't have come back till the series was over. Remember, he came back, and then we came back, and then we won. It's just interesting about sports. Now, when did Stevens hit him? Was it in Game 7?
Game 7.
That was there in the annals of hockey. As you know, you guys, there is not a bigger hit, more dramatic hit than what Scott Stevens did that night. But Lindros had his head down, carrying the puck. Now today, Sammy, he would have got suspended.
Scott Stevens.
Scott would have.
Yeah.
People still reference it.
Yeah, but today it would have been a suspension, Vinnie. But he hit with his shoulder. I remember Jay Pandolfo was behind Lindros, and Scott came from the left. Lindros didn't see him. I'm just saying, my trouble with hockey right now, I watched the playoffs. Very intense last year. I could hit Sammy. I could knock him around. But during the regular season, some of these calls are like, come on, it's not a no-check league. It's still you can hit.
Yeah.
And I want to see some of that.
Yeah, I mean, well, the Rangers and Red Wings had a little taste of old-time hockey with that bench clearing.
Not really.
Wasn't really a bench clearing?
No. I mean, Quick went off, and he was going to do something. It looked good, but it wasn't. No, you don't know. Sammy, no offense. You don't know bench clearing balls like that I played
1987?
Well, yeah, that's true.
Let's talk about 1987. Everybody's talking about Montreal Canadiens, Philadelphia Flyers, the bench clearing. Tell us what a real bench clearing brawl is.
Well, you know, in that bench clearing brawl, there was real animosity. I don't want to say hatred, but animosity. And here's the thing. Back then, you weren't making a lot of money, you guys. So I remember we went to the finals and we got a $25,000 bonus. If we had won, we had gotten $30,000. Now that seems like a lot. That's nothing. When you're making millions, but back then it was like, and Billy Smith used to say that they're trying to take money out of my pockets. We're not gonna let them. And that's where the real animosity came. And you didn't want to lose. And basically what happened in 87, and the rule was changed. Eddie Hospodar, who was here last night.
Boxcar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, Boxcar, yep.
Very good. So they told us, Mike Keenan, what would happen, you guys. So I was the backup, and I was playing, and so they would come down, and and I saw, I would go to the dressing room, and I'd see Claude Lemieux and Shane Corson. They would take a puck after I left the net, and they would pass it back and forth, and Lemieux would shoot it in the net. That was their ritual. And they won the game. So the next game, I said, I'm going to come up with something. So when I was done with the warm-up, I took the net, I turned it around, I pushed it against the backboards, and I watched them from the walkway, and they didn't know what to do. We win that game, right, Sam?
Yep.
So then the next game's in Montreal, and Mike Keenan and a bunch of them said, mainly Mike, said, Eddie Hospodar and Chico, don't let them score. And here's the funny part. Larry Robinson, he's with the Canadians, and he said to his team, they're going to stay there till the very last minute. Let's go right off after warm-up. They will leave. Then we'll go back out. This is how childish. But this is who we were as hockey players. So what we did was we waited, and I said, Eddie, maybe they're not coming back. Okay. So in the Montreal Forum, their dressing room entrance was in the board. Their boards were where the dressing was on one side. We were on the other, right?
Yep.
Where the players' benches were. So I said, okay, well, let's go, Eddie. We're just going to go off, Sammy. I see their clubhouse guy going like this. Come on, like we're going off. I said, Eddie, they're coming. So embarrassing, Sam. And Vinnie, I said, they're coming back on. So we jumped back on. I go with my stick, and I'm going to throw it at the puck because they dropped it down. They're going to pass, and Lemieux's going to score. And I said, I'm going to try to stop him. I didn't throw it like this high. It was right on the ice. It goes in the corner. I go and get the stick. I come back, and I see Eddie's got Claude Lemieux down, right? But he's not really punching him, but he's got him down, and Shane Corson standing there. And here's the final thing on that. Claude looked up, and we all love Claude Lemieux for what he did.
Yep.
He looks up, and he says, Eddie, what are we doing? Like, Eddie's not. And we both all agreed, yeah, this is crazy. Let's quit. But in the meantime, we look. Both benches, both teams are coming out of the locker room, and there's going to be this brawl. And the last thing is Knuckles Nyland was the tough guy for Montreal. But he didn't want to fight Brownie. Dave Brown was 6'4". And what Brownie didn't do, he didn't put his sweater on. And you don't want to scrap. I got to grab something. So poor Knuckles, I talked to him. He said, I had nothing to grab. So Brownie just pounded him. But the end of this story, there's lots more, but I'll end it. The next year, the league said, and now it's a rule, if you're down on one end warming up, you cannot go down to the other end and shoot the puck in their net. That was a change of a rule. And so that's why you don't see that.
So you're a part of that whole thing.
I was going to say, can we call it the Chico Resch rule now?
Yeah, the Chico Resch rule. We never
call
did that.
the trapezoid. The trapezoid's the Marty Brodeur rule. Why can't this be the Chico Resch rule?
Well, thank you, but maybe Boxcar Hospodar. Call it the Boxcar. No, because people still bug me. Chico, you started that brawl. What was wrong with you? But it was Mike Keenan saying, you guys have to, you have to, And so we did it. Yep. But anyway, enough of, that was a long time ago.
Wow.
But anyway, it was
That's
part
one of the
hockey.
greatest stories we've had on this show.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, we know you're short on time, but I did have a question about the Flyers goaltender. What's his name? Dan Vladar?
Yeah.
Vladar.
Darth Vladar.
Vladar, he's a
Is
Czech.
he starting tonight? Do you
Yeah,
know?
he's
starting.
Yeah.
Well, he's having a fantastic season.
Well, he's playing really well. And, let's go to the Devils because I'm only here for a while.
Yep.
So I go to practice. They're going to change the lines. Timo Meyer is going to go up with Hischier and Bratt. What they did today, and we've seen other teams, like they put the top offensive guys on one line.
Yep.
And then the second line is Mercer and Brown and Gritsik. It's okay. But they tried to spread out the talent, the big-time talent. Now it's all up on one line. We'll see if it pays a dividend. But so we're trying to score. Flyers have got a pretty good balance. They're really good defensively. They're winning hockey games late in the period. 5 times this year, they have trailed going into the third period and come back and won. So the Devils, we got our hands full. But I was in the locker room this morning. I'm just saying there's a tension in the Devils locker room because it's not just that we've lost, you guys. We haven't scored.
Yeah.
So, I'm hoping tonight we get a few, especially early.
Yeah. Well, Chico, I don't want to get you in trouble.
No, I'm okay. I got about 4 more minutes.
4 more minutes? Okay. You know where you're
All right,
going?
I got one for Chico really quick.
Yep.
I got one for Chico because I think I brought this up later with you, Sam. The Tampa Bay game, I think they could have had 5 Jack Hugheses on the ice and they probably still would have lost. They did not play well.
Worst game of the year. I
Florida,
agree.
Absolutely. And then against Florida, though, I'm like, this is the type of game where you really miss Jack Hughes. I don't know. Do you feel the same way?
Well, I'm going to feel that where we missed Jack. 5-on-5 is one place, but on the power play. But I'm watching that game. Tonight, what they worked on in practice was guys getting to the net, taking more shots. But Bobrovsky, he was good. But I know as a goalie, he had some deflections that hit him. There was some rebounds we just didn't quite get to. So I know as a goalie, it's really good to be good.
Yeah.
But you know what's even better? Being good and being lucky.
Yep.
And Bobrovsky had both things going. We should have, like Sheldon Keefe said today, he said, no, we didn't get a ton of chances, he said, in Florida, but we got enough chances. We should have got 1 goal. We got none.
Yep.
So I'm just saying, we talk about puck luck, you guys, and I am telling you, hockey is the only sport, not baseball, not football, but where puck luck comes into play so much, Sammy. You can be shooting wide, hits a guy, shin pad goes in the net. Oh,
yeah.
I wasn't even trying. Or Well, like the goal that Nico Hischier got. Nico did a good job in Tampa of kicking it into the crease, but he need help. Their defenseman pushed it in.
Yep.
You know, that's kind of what the Devils need tonight, some of those breaks.
Yeah. And I know I'm going to jump around here.
That's okay.
But you remember the Game 6 Eastern Conference Finals when it was back at home, Devils Flyers in 2000? That was when Eric Lindros came back.
Yes.
He came back in Game 6. I believe he scored a goal near the buzzer. We thought the Flyers had scored, but I think the replay, and this is how hockey is a game of inches. What would have happened had Eric Lindros' goal counted in that Game 6? Would there have been a Game 7 with that Scott Stevens hit? That's how close, like, some of these teams are.
I agree with you, Sammy. That's the difference makers in the playoffs. It's one goal, one break. You know, and everybody says, when I was a kid, well, I was just a young player with the Devils, and Zach Parise's dad, JP, came up to me in the locker room, and I thought, oh, this is worldly advice. He said, Chico, you know why you can't win consistently in the NHL? I thought, oh, I can't wait to hear this. He says, because the other team wants to win too. I thought, oh, yeah, and they've got good players. That's why I'm going on record right now, okay?
Okay.
For Let's Go Devils podcast to never say the Devils have to play 60 minutes of great hockey. It doesn't have. I hate that when people say, well, yeah, it was ugly, but we won. Yeah. You know how you win games? When you're on the rush offensively, you got to put some puck in the net. When you're defending and they're overwhelming you, you can bend but not break. And you got to get some good goaltending. You got to get some breaks. So let's quit this. Nobody in the National Hockey League just dominates for 60 minutes. So let's quit saying that. Yeah, that was ugly. No, we found a way to win. You know what? I would sooner take that than we really played well, but we lost.
Yep.
And you guys know that. But there's that cliche going around, oh, we got to play 60 minutes. I never see it. Never.
Yeah.
So anyway.
That's why we try not to do cliches on this podcast.
Good.
Because they're just kind of like redundant. It's the obvious.
Yes, right, Sam.
But you always tell us, ask about the why.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
It's why, and that's what I talked to Dougie Hamilton, Simon Nemec, Brendan Dill. I'm not going to quote them, but I just said, what did you guys see? What did you feel? You know what I mean? What did you feel and what did you see? Because I saw the why. I saw what happened, but why? And they said, you know, we weren't terrible in Florida, but we got no puck luck. And he was good, but the why is, and you know what the general thing was, you guys? Let's play the same way tonight. Maybe a little more aggressiveness in front of the net, but let's play the same way because we weren't terrible. We'll get some chances. So here was the interesting thing that I got a minute or two, that Sheldon Keefe, because Rick Tocchet, I saw him and he's saying the same thing. It used to be like we're gonna break for almost 3 weeks for the Olympics, Sammy and Vinnie. That's a long time for games.
Yeah.
So they're condensing them, and Talk was saying it's so condensed now that we have to do some of our teaching and our preparation for the game that night in the morning skate, where in the past they would do it at practice the day before, but they don't have practice. A lot of days off. So this morning, Sheldon Keefe said just a couple things. Watch for it, folks. Watch for it. The forwards on our team, we want them to defend. Come back a little bit deeper. Don't be at the top of the circle. Come back to that middle hash mark, right? Because then the defensemen for them aren't going to jump you because he's got to go out of position.
Yeah.
But and so some of you guys know, when was the last time we got a breakaway goal? When was the last time we got a 2-on-1? Because if you're too far ahead, you'll get the puck, but you're alone or you're standing still. Come deeper, break out as a unit, and then when you'll still be in good position defensively. Then when you get in the offensive zone, let's not think, well, I got to play defense and we can't give up a goal. He's saying, no, you don't want to take stupid chances. risky chances, but you got to have two guys going for the net. Not one guy and two guys are worried about getting back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That balance,
Yep.
you guys. And that's what he was emphasizing today. And
also, it's very important to carry the momentum when you're skating, to have that momentum and then get the puck versus just caught, flat-footed.
oh,
on
yeah.
the breakouts.
Yeah, well, you're not good. Remember the other team, Sammy, they're not stupid.
Yep.
If you have guys that are too far ahead of the play, yes, they will get the puck, but you got back checkers. If you come out in a breakout, where the players are deeper, at least four of them, and they're all coming up, D can jump up if they have to. But if you've got guys way ahead of the plate, just remember that in the neutral zone, you're not like Sheldon was saying, we got to get more chances off the rush. Well, you're not going to get it with two guys attacking their 2D and a back checker.
Yep.
You've got to have three or four guys coming up, right?
Yep.
I know it's technical, and some people say, Chico, you're giving me a headache. But it's what are the difference makers, Sammy and Vinnie. So that's what I'm looking for. You guys watching the game tonight, look for the same thing and see, did we come back in our end? Were our breakouts better?
Yep.
Did we have more guys going to the net? You know, and I hope it happens tonight. But the Flyers are thinking they can win. They're playing well.
Yep.
We think we can win. So you talk about inches, Sammy.
Yep. If the Devils win tonight, they're over 500 on this road trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, so take it a glass half full.
Exactly. And you know what? I do not predict games. I know you guys have to and whatever. Say, well, what do you think, Chico? Are they going to win tonight? I would say, how would I know? With the breaks, with the guys, are they going to attack? Are they going to be passive?
Yeah.
You know, that's 82 games. That's a lot of games, and they're condensed. These guys aren't always at their best. Mm-hmm. You know, and I don't blame them. It's just quite honestly, it's too many games in a short period of time. But you know what? Next year, they're going to add 2 more regular season games.
To 84.
It's going to be crazy. But, we love the sport, and you guys love talking about it. So,
well, Chico, we don't want to get you in trouble. Because
no, I better get going.
Yeah, half past the hour right now. Thank you, Chico.
Thank
Get
you,
there
Vinnie.
safe, Chico.
Take
Of
care
course,
of Chicago.
always a pleasure.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And next time I'm on, I want to be talking about us on a winning streak. Okay,
Absolutely.
Sammy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks,
All
you
right.
guys.
Yep.
We'll
Bye,
make sure of it.
everyone.
Bye. That is
Good night.
Chico Resch, everybody. Somebody's going to escort you out. Oh, you know where you're going? Okay. All right. That's Chico Resch. He found the place. Vinny. But we want to get everybody's predictions in the YouTube Live and Facebook Live and Instagram Live for tonight's action. Just remember, Devils After Dark after the game here at Stateside Live. I want to thank Joe Carpinella of Stateside Live, Megan, Aaron, Justin, the managers here for the accommodations. It's just this place is amazing, Vinny. This is like the mecca of let's say sports. There's so much sports here. Let's go to the fan cam right now. We're just off to the side near the front door. There's a lot of people here. Just a lot of people here at Stateside Live. And, but we want your predictions in the YouTube Live at Let's Go Devils. Vinny, are you going to read some predictions? Are there any predictions in there right now?
Yeah, I'll read some from the YouTube chat. Ted says 5-4 Devils. Brian says 4-3 Devils. Luke in overtime. Selecto says 4-2 Devils. AJ Visco 3-2 Devils. Beachmaster 3-2 Devils. Michael Hay 3-2 Devils in overtime. Let's see if we got anything else in there. Put your predictions in the chat if you're watching right now. I'll read them live. Singsy 5-2 Devils. Singsy, welcome to the chat. Hey, well, don't forget to check the game notes.
Dave Singer. Singer. Great friend of the podcast.
I watch game notes every week, and I see Singsy leading the chat. So don't forget to check the game notes, Singsy. Meadowlander says 5-2 Diablos. Love Chico. Selecta says 4-2 Devils. I think I said that. But I appreciate people putting their put it in if I don't read it, so I make sure I get it. Pod Legend says 4-2 Devils. Lupus says 4-3 Devils. I so badly wanted to work out with Palat and win a cup. Yeah, that'd be nice. Palat's a gamer in the playoffs. People forget that. Always Something says 2-0 Devils. Devils Heaven says 3-1 Devils. 3-1 Flyers says Eric. And then Beachmaster wants to troll Matvey Michkov by saying grits greater than Michkov. Devils Heaven says, I said that one. 3-1 Devils. Brian Hoyt 4-0 Devils. Lawrence 3-1 Devils. Survey 3-1 Devils. Sam, I'll give you mine really quickly before you get into yours. I'm going to go with my old No, I think there's going to be a lot of goals in this game. 5-3 New Jersey Devils.
Jake the Snake Allen has been confirmed, I believe. The new Flyers goaltender. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. The Devils aren't scoring goals. But then again, Chico gave us a little hint. Maybe they will be. So
if I see two guys crash in the net every single offensive chance, I'm going to think of this podcast.
I'm going to go bold here. 6-2 Devils.
Nice.
Yeah, 6-2 Devils.
Nice and low scoring.
Yeah. Any more scores in the YouTube live before we get out of here?
Kevin Barr says 4-3 shootout lost. Kevin. Joseph says, I don't know. I just want the Devils to win, whether it's an overtime or a shootout. 2 points is 2 points. Always better than none.
Is that speaker on? Okay, I just want to make sure. You want a little louder? Is the speaker on?
Louder.
Yeah.
Louder.
Yeah, I did a big woo before we left. Let's do it again.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It worked.
Yeah, it worked. The DJ didn't want me near him because he knew that we were going to have a crowd near the podcast where it's at. Because normally when the crowd. What's that?
Say hi to John Faraday for me.
All right. Said hello to Shorts Guy. I don't know Shorts Guy's real name. That's the problem. So
I still don't know Shorts Guy's real name. Joey says 4-2 Devils.
Yeah. 4-2 Devils. Okay. All right. Well, pretty good.
I wrote on Shorts Guy's wedding invitation, Shorts Guy. His first name is Shorts.
Yeah. I know. On his passport, Shorts Guy.
No, yeah. I heard like a TSA agent call him Shorts.
Yeah. So, all right. We're going to get out of here. Drop the podcast in about 20 minutes. Thank you to Stateside Live, Megan, Aaron, Justin, the DJ Steve, for making all those announcements, the accommodations. This is a beautiful facility, rebranded Stateside Live. I think we're going to come here more often, Vinny. Now that we've done this podcast.
As you should. You should.
All right, so we're going to get out of here, hitting the music. Let's see right here. All right. So Devils After Dark after the game here at Stateside Live. We'll get your rapid reactions. It's going to be Vinnie, Parise, and I. Scotty's on assignment. Yes, that's Scotty, a Sirius XM Liquid Metal. Till next time, let's go Devils.